In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Chandrayaan-3, India's third lunar exploration mission, and how does it compares to Chandrayaan-2. Let's roll the intro.
Hey Nitin, good to have you with us. I was going to ask you how much it cost, but I just read, so 145 million bucks. What does India hope to get out of this? Country that has extreme poverty. I think more than 700 million Indians don't have access to a toilet.
India's space agency will launch a spacecraft designed to boldly go where no Asian nation has gone.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ कि सारे जहां से अच्छा।
I was shocked the other day to read that the nation of India, on one rocket launched, deposited more than 100 satellites in space.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, +1, 2.
इसरो जब कोई रॉकेट लॉन्च करता है, कोई अभियान अंतरिक्ष में भेजता है, तो पूरा देश उससे जुड़ जाता है।
Chandrayaan-3 is India's third lunar mission, after Chandrayaan-1 and Chandrayaan-2. Chandrayaan-1 was the first Indian mission to the moon, and it successfully orbited the moon and detected water molecules on the lunar surface. Chandrayaan-2 was the second Indian mission to the moon, and it consisted of an orbiter, a lander and a rover. The orbiter is still operational, but the lander and rover failed to soft land on the moon due to a software glitch. Chandrayaan-3 aims to repeat the landing attempt with a similar lander and rover, but without an orbiter. ISRO has announced that Chandrayaan-3 is scheduled to launch on 13th July at 2:30 p.m. from Satish Dhawan Space Centre, using a LPEM-3 rocket and expected to land on the moon's surface around 23rd August. The ISRO plans to retain the names of the Chandrayaan-2 lander and rover for their Chandrayaan-3 equivalents as well. This means the Chandrayaan-3 lander will bear the name Vikram, after Vikram Sarabhai, the father of the Indian space program, and the rover, Pragyan. Chandrayaan-3 is part of the global effort to explore the lunar South Pole, which is a region of scientific interest because it has craters that are permanently shadowed and may contain water ice and other volatiles. Other missions that have targeted or plan to target the lunar South Pole include NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO, which has been mapping the moon since 2009, China's Chang'e 4, which was the first mission to land on the far side of the moon in 2019, NASA's Artemis program, which aims to land on the moon by 2024, and Japan's Lunar Polar Exploration Mission, LPEM, which is a joint mission with India that plans to land a rover near the South Pole by 2025. The Chandrayaan-3 will consist of two modules, a propulsion module and a lander module. The propulsion module will carry the lander from Earth orbit to lunar orbit and also act as a communications relay satellite. The lander module will house the rover, which will be similar to the Pragyan rover of Chandrayaan-2. The lander and rover are expected to operate for one lunar day, which is about 14 Earth days. Let's see how does Chandrayaan-3 compares to Chandrayaan-2. Chandrayaan-3 will not have an orbiter, unlike Chandrayaan-2, which had an orbiter, a lander and a rover. Chandrayaan-3 will use the orbiter of Chandrayaan-2 for communication and terrain mapping purposes. Chandrayaan-3 will have some improvements over Chandrayaan-2, such as more cameras for hazard detection and avoidance, a laser Doppler velocimeter for precise velocity and altitude measurement, and a single instrument on the propulsion module to observe the Earth's spectrum and polarization from the lunar orbit. Chandrayaan-3 will have a low cost than Chandrayaan-2, as it will reuse some of the hardware and software from the previous mission. The total cost of Chandrayaan-3 is estimated to be 615 crores rupees, while the total cost of Chandrayaan-2 was 960 crores rupees. The mission will carry several scientific payloads to study the lunar surface and environment. The lander will have 4 instruments. Rambha, which will measure the plasma density and temperature near the moon. Chest, which will measure the thermal conductivity and temperature gradient of the lunar soil. ILSA, which will detect seismic activity and moonquakes. LRA, which will reflect laser signals from Earth-based stations for precise positioning. The rover will have two instruments. APXS, which will analyze the elemental composition of the rocks and soil. LIBS, which will use a laser beam to vaporize a small amount of material and analyze its spectrum. The propulsion module will also have one instrument. SHAPE, which will observe the Earth's spectrum and polarization from the lunar orbit. Chandrayaan-3 is an ambitious mission that will showcase India's technological prowess and scientific curiosity. It will also contribute to the global understanding of the Moon and its potential resources. If successful, it will be India's first soft landing on the Moon and a major milestone for its space program. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about Chandrayaan-3. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about this mission and what other topics you would like me to cover.